What's going on, everybody? This is EGC Legacy on live. Today, we are having our first episode with my friend and my brother, Sean Christopher Jenkins. So, today's episode, we're just going to talk about real life because what's happening right now is very detrimental, especially for Black culture and a lot of different cultures around the world. But today, we're going to ask specific questions. We're going to talk about this. How you doing, Sean?
Good man.
Man, so I gotta ask you, what is your take on this? With Elon Musk and Donald Trump, I call him the Cheeto Man, being in office and dismantling a lot of Black culture, and not even just Black culture in general. He's trying to dismantle the education system. How do you feel about that?
Well, I hear it's Jim Crow all over again. Like, they're trying to go back to slavery and stuff. But um, yeah, I got a lot of thoughts on it actually. I haven't been like paying attention to it too much because how sometimes like the news just piss you off and just makes you mad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I don't pay attention to the news like that anymore. And even with Elon and Trump and stuff, man, like at the end of the day, like I feel like most people they only care about their own people and they only
Hmm.
care about like the people they want to care for and stuff like that. But it's even more so for certain kind of people. I don't want to be too mean or harsh, but so like we're just real divided, and everybody just want to look out for whoever they want to look out for. So that's what we're seeing. People want to help out the people they want to help out, and let everybody else who they don't care about like fall behind and by the wayside, while everybody else get ahead that they want to get ahead. Um, so that's what I'm seeing. But yeah, but I put everybody on game though, Zeke. Um, you gotta know how the powers that be operate. So you gotta know how like evildoers move, right? And you gotta know how to move with them, right? Because they're gonna strike, but you gotta be ready for them to strike. You gotta be ready for them to implement certain things. So like, um, from a money standpoint, it's a good time if you're an entrepreneur, and it's a good time if you are like into stocks or into real estate or something like that, because everybody that's affiliated with Trump and Elon, like they are like they got their money invested, and so the game's rigged for anybody that's rich, or anybody that invests their money because Trump is going. That's who Trump supports. Like, so if you have your money invested in places that the politicians, the cricket politicians, or anybody that's heavily rich and stuff like that, you put their money where they put their money. You're bound to be successful and for your money to grow and stuff like that. So that's the main thing I'm seeing with Elon and Trump and stuff. But then also like you were saying, them getting rid of race and stuff like that. Yeah, honestly, that's another reason why I want to be affiliated with the AME Church in any kind of way, because like in order for us to educate our people, the best people to educate our people is our people. Like everybody's mad that Trump and Elon or just in general, like they're trying to erase Black history, and then also they're trying to prevent what we can talk about when it comes to Black history. But that's not on the white people to teach us Black history. That was the problem to begin with. Like Black people need
Right.
to teach people Black history. So like, um, that's I think that's the responsibility of the AME Church. Like because I didn't know this till we started board examiners together, but I figured out like with the civil rights movements and stuff like
Hmm.
that, like a lot of the churches that they went to host the different meetings and stuff were AME churches, and
Yeah.
then also the NAACP, like they just have a history of working with the AME church, right? So like
Right.
you would think it'd be like the Baptist church or stuff like that. No, it was the AME church doing all the civil rights movements and stuff like that. So I think the AME church, like they need to take that more serious when it comes to educating our youth and educating just
Right.
Black people in general about Black history. Because like, honestly, I don't get enough of that. Like, I don't know where I came from. I don't know Black history like that. And that's the problem. Like, black people need to know, their work and where they came from, our ancestry and stuff like that. Because we're not going to learn that in the textbooks or in the classroom setting, and we can't expect to know that either. Like, they're not going to teach. They don't want us to get that kind of liberation, that kind of empowerment, that kind of idea, to know that we're not, bound or in bondage, or we're not inferior. They don't want us to know that kind of information. So anything
Right.
that even hints at pushing us to that level, nah, they're gonna try to get rid of anything that leads to that kind of camaraderie, that kind of freedom, huh? That kind of thinking. Yeah, that's what I basically said. But yeah,
And I like how you put that because, truth be told, man, that comes from an institutionalized mindset where a lot of people don't teach no more. And definitely with it being taken out of school systems, they only glamorize like one small part,
yeah,
but they don't tell the full story.
right,
Such as, like, for instance, the washer and dryer made by a black woman, air duct units, black woman, airplane seating, black, shoot, light systems, and more, and even doorbells that we use every day. And yes, it's our job to educate them, but at the same time, when you have a destructive mindset, a lot of times it's not being taught. And yeah, it is. I have to agree. Yeah, they did come to the AME church a lot because even at the one that I'm at, the people that walked for the Freedom Riders were at my church. People that were not only that, sat with my frat brother, Congressman John Lewis. One of them is still living, and she sits at the church where I am. So that's heavily sedated, but it's not heavily talked about. Now, the reason that I can tell you that they do these things is called Willie Lynch laws. Do you know what that is?
yeah. I read the book a
So,
long time ago.
yeah. So, like, if you look at that, what they're trying to do is replace certain parts. Take the light skin versus the dark skin, make them fight each other. And where it says, kill the mind but keep the body strong, treat them no less than insects. If you diminish a certain part of history, only a certain few will be aware of it. Where the people that are institutionalized are not educated enough to see what's going on in society, they will never notice it. Like, a lot of people here in Nashville don't know that the Cheeto Man tried to rename DNA Airpoint to his last name. Didn't work. Like right now, all this junk that he's trying to pull off, he has to get voting for it. In the court system, the judicial judges are fighting against him because he's not just coming against race or color or creed. He's coming against sexuality, which everybody got their own right. I'm not against nobody, but hey, live how you live. You answer to God for what you do. That's just me telling you the truth. I'm not going to judge because I can't judge nobody. But hey, it is what it is. So, and I got to, when we look at this, it's a word that my favorite comic says, Eddie Griffin. I don't know if you know who he is.
Yeah,
He says, think it's not illegal yet. A lot of people don't think about what's happening. They don't think about what they do. So their concept is a screwed. Does that make sense?
mm-hmm.
So the biggest thing is, how do you fix the complex? People that keep scream, "Oh, I'm awoke. I know what's happening," but really don't know anything. cause a distraction here, but don't know what's going on over there.
Yeah.
So, but the biggest question that I know I need to ask you this, because I know you big on this, you're big on finance, you're big on literacy. How do you take somebody that's of color that doesn't know about stock, doesn't know about how to formulate, doesn't know how to bank, to put stuff in black-owned companies and businesses to make things lucrative and better? How would you do that?
First of all, you gotta know what the black businesses are to invest in and stuff like that. Like I gotta be honest. Like I'm in this one class for seminary school called Black Religion and Technology, and in that class it just talks about how like one of the things I learned, and it's obvious when you're black, like in America at least, like they hide black history, so they hide anything black. So anything that's good going on that black people have going on, they don't want that to get out. So they make it harder to find. And even when you do find it, they do everything it takes to shut it down and to stop it.
Right.
You know, and you can say that's not true, but no, it is. Like look at history. So like
Right.
Tulsa, Oklahoma is a good example. Anytime black people are like really successful at something and thriving,
Right.
that's some people's worst nightmare. I'm not gonna say who, but it's some people's worst nightmare. And so they'll do everything it takes to nip it in the bud and to make sure that we're gonna make sure they regress and keep on regressing because that's what we want to happen with them. We don't want them to excel. We don't want
Right.
them to feel empowered. So like the greatest way is just communication. Like doing videos like this is good, Zeke, because like I mean you even have a business. So it's about doing that, it's about growing our platforms, collaborating and working with other black people. And then also when we do that, we need to be doing what we should be doing, like our own ministerial stuff, what God called us to do individually, so that when we come together, oh man, I give you a 2 for like Zeke, like show us your business, like show us, the thing you got going on with the kids, like for you exactly, like things you got going on for the kids when you do the backpacks and stuff like that. So that's
Mm-hmm.
a black owned business. So like when black people come to videos like this, like and just from out of nowhere, because that's what's gonna happen. Then they
Right.
can start supporting us and like doing everything it takes to make sure our businesses thrive because I wouldn't say every black person wants to support black people because
Mm-mm.
that's far fetched. But
Yeah.
like when something big happens, like the Super Bowl, for example, like I mean, like something that like like the Kendrick Lamar
Much for
halftime
that.
show, like when something like that happens and it hits, like yeah, then black people want to jump on the bandwagon. So you gotta be ready. That's what I'm saying. Like you gotta be ready when when the iron strikes, whatever that saying is, when it's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, when the iron's hot, yeah, you gotta be ready to strike. Like so, but that takes all of us working together, just like that. So everything got to connect and flow. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, yeah. So that's to answer your question. Like, how do we support black businesses and stuff like that? Because that's the only way it's gonna happen. Like,
Yeah.
you got to be doing you got to be doing it. You got to be doing what you should be doing in the dark, so that when you come to the light, like you have the evidence, and everybody's like, oh, you have it already. Like then we can support because it's kind of hard to support something if it ain't in the works. You know what I'm saying? Like if you ain't been
Right.
doing everything it takes for it to thrive and stuff like that, it's not gonna happen. You ain't put it in the work, you're not gonna get the results. So um
Absolutely.
yeah, so that's I forgot
No,
the beginning of your
Ezekiel
question though.
Collins. Oh, no, no, no. You answered it.
Oh, okay.
Now, now, the thing is, the question was about financial literacy. How do you
Yeah,
get
yeah.
somebody that may not know to get there? Because a lot of times, I'm gonna be straight up, even myself, I wasn't taught about stocks and bonds and how to operate, nor was I taught how you're supposed to build your credit score. I didn't learn how to do that until I was a lot older.
Hmm.
And it was on my own accord, or some people taking the time to show me something. Now, the tricky part is from where we came up, there was community centers, There was different places that taught you trades and obligations. Even at the school where I attended when I moved to Tennessee, I went to McGavick High School. There was a computer science group programs, mechanic programs, barber schools, culinary schools within the schools. So they was learning different trades. But in today's market and value, there's no trades being learned.
Mm-hmm.
So the next part is you're a new father, and I want to know just straight up, how would you prepare him for this society, knowing what he's growing up in? He already had, before his time, he saw the black, we already saw the first black female vice president. Now we're going back to, it's almost the Ronald Reagan effect, his crazy self. And now we're going to the next stage. How would you prepare him for society, especially with his culture and creed?
Yeah. Well, first of all, as a black father, you got no choice but to prepare your children. Like, because if you don't prepare them, somebody, and this is in general, if you don't prepare your kids and train them, somebody else it will, and the system will, the world will. Like especially the school system, like they're trying to brainwash kids and to
Oh yeah.
turn people into their own image, their own liking, what they want them to be. So especially for black people, like let's just be honest, you think there's a reason why black people go through what they go through on a day-to-day
Right.
basis. And this is one thing I learned in class and stuff like that. Like, do you think like certain people? I'm just gonna keep on saying certain people. You know what I'm talking about? Do you think certain people want black people to know not even their history? Because the past tends to repeat itself. Like history, knowledge is important. Like knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
There's a reason why they say that. So like you think they're gonna tell you everything that will help you along the way in your journey to help you make decisions, to help you navigate through life. Like they're not going to give you the answers to life. They're not going to give you the cheat code of life. They don't want you to know, right? You
Right.
can't tell me everybody wants you to succeed in general. And it is deeper than racism. It is evil powers and principalities and people who really are demonic and don't want and will use demonic forces to stop you. It's spiritual warfare. Racism
Exactly.
ain't flesh on flesh. Like, no, it's a spiritual battle, right? It's something
Yes,
that
it is.
is that's why it's so deep. It's ingrained, embedded in everything. So, like, as a father, bro, like you train up a child in a way that he should go, and when he gets older, he won't depart from it. There's a reason why it says stuff like that in the Bible. Like a proverb, it's a proverb. I think it's like Proverbs 22:6, but it says a proverb. We talk about that all the time on my YouTube channel that Ezekiel always attends. Uplift past Crossroads. A proverb is a general statement made about life, and from those general statements, there are observations and lessons that can be made. And if we apply those lessons and observations to our life, then we'll be prosperous and successful. So, like, train up a child in the way that he should go, and when he gets older, he won't depart from it. So, like, there's a way that every child should go, and not every child goes the same way. Every child's different in a different way. You think the world cares about your child and what way that they go? No, they want them to go the way that they want them to go, which is not a good way. Like people don't want.
Exactly.
There's some people that would do everything it takes to keep Zeke from being successful and vice versa. For me too, right? Like there's people that's against us, right?
Right.
It could be because of race. It could be because of race, right? But you can't let that stop you. So you got to teach your kids like all things are possible through Christ. You got to teach your kids what the Word of God has to say. You got to, teach them. You got to help them to put on the armor because they don't want to put it on. Like as a kid, you don't care. You think you can just go free, just like all these movies and shows. Like there's always kids that think that they know better than their parents. There's always kids that think, they got it all figured out, and they're a kid. Like what I'm saying. So it's up to you as a father. Like that's one thing my dad has always did. He's always trained me up, like, and taught me the way. And that's the thing, as a parent, it's your responsibility to teach your kids everything you know. Teach your kids, because you want them ideally to do better than you. You want them to not go through the same problems that you went through. You want life to be, as perfect as possible for them, if possible. So all you can do is tell them the game that you know, because that's we're all limited to our own realities, our own understanding. But like,
Right.
it's about showing them and training them up so well that they can see different realities, different perspectives, and they like, okay, it's bigger than just what I think. It's bigger than what even my parents say, right? Because that's one
Right.
thing my dad trained me up so much. Like, I don't even listen to half of the stuff he says because, like, Dad, you're one man. Like, it's your reality. Like, you're very opinionated. Like, it's your opinion. Like, yeah, racism exists and all that stuff. Like, but like that at the end of the day, you're speaking from your own experience, your own reality. So like, yeah, but you asked a good question, Jake. I want to go because you keep on asking it, like, how would I teach people financial literacy and stuff like that, like our people, like, but that's the thing, like, I've been dying to do this on our YouTube channel. I haven't done it yet because of like fear and stuff like that. But when you're scared of something and you're fearful of it, that's how you know you need to do it, because God's trying to push you to the uncomfortable place so that you can receive the comfort you're waiting for. So like, yeah, like when it comes to investing and stuff like that, like that's the game. Like, you think everybody, it probably used to be the game, but like people think that because they work their 9 to 5, if they work more than 8 hours a day, if they work hard, then they'll make it over because they hear stuff like that on TV and through shows and
Absolutely.
stuff like that. But it's not true. Like, until you make money in your sleep, until you have your money working for you, you're always going to be working for somebody else.
Exactly.
And you hear stuff like that, but you don't know what it means. So like, you got to figure out for yourself, what does that mean? Because there's different ways to invest your money. There's different ways to grow your money. There's different ways
Right.
to have your money make money in your sleep. But not every way is the best way, especially not for you, right? And so you gotta
Exactly.
know you're temperate. Like, you gotta know what you can handle financially because I'm gonna tell you something too. When you invest your money, the market will go down and the market will go up. But one guarantee is the market will always go up. That's one guarantee. If you're in the right market, the market will always go up, more up than down over time. So you always have more wins than losses on a day-to-day basis. But
Right.
you got to position yourself to where, like, when the markets do tank, then you're good and you're investing
Right.
winners. You're confident in what you're invested in. You're not going to freak out and be all frantic. And then also, it's more than gambling. You're not gambling when you're investing your money. So like, and then that's another thing too. Like, Elon and Trump are doing what they're doing for a reason. Anybody that's a politician are doing what they're doing for a reason. I honestly don't think anybody in politics care for anybody, like, except for
No.
who they want to care for. And when I say that, I'm saying, like, do you think people in politics truly care about America, just regular citizens? Like, no, there's
No.
no way. They make too much money. Like, if they did it for free, they care. They don't do it for free. They get paid $400,000. Like, they get paid a lot. Like, you think they care? No, they care about
No.
power. Like, if I ran for office, I'm gonna let you know, I only do it for power. Like, for myself, for self. That's a problem, right? That's worse than the Pharisees, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's people in this world that literally just want to get over on other people just to get ahead so they can get more for themselves and for who they want which is typically their children or family or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But even then, like, it's so deep. Like, I read books on Elon Musk and stuff like that because I'm an investor in Tesla. Like, and people be like, man, Sean, that's stupid, dude. If you can make money, and I'm not even gonna say make money, if you can become a billionaire off of an investment, would you invest in it? And I don't even
Yep.
care what the investment is, like, because at the end of the day, some people be like, "Oh man, you're awful. Like, you're investing in people that hang us, for example, or something like that." Like, bro, like, I'm gonna say it again. If you can make $1 billion and be a millionaire off an investment, would you do it? Like, I'm not saying you invest in any and everything, but I'm saying, like, there's a game to this. Like, there's stuff
Mhm.
that you can invest in right now I'm not even gonna say that are gonna go up over time. Like, in our lifetime, they will always be up, and they will crap on anything else in our lifetime. Like, when it comes to
Exactly.
investment wise. So like, yeah, like, so like, basically be a Robin Hood. Like, if you have all the money is power. There's a reason why it says that in the Bible. Like, money is everything. Like, if you have money, what problem do you really have? Nothing. Like, so like, that's the game. Until you figure out money problems, you're not gonna figure out any other problem. Like, so like, that's the first step to overcoming any and everything. So like, you gotta figure out this money thing. So how are you gonna figure it out? I think for me, it's through stocks. right? Like so, and I'm gonna show you
Mm-hmm.
guys some stuff too, because I want to really answer that question. But like, you have to do your research on like, what's how can I invest in stocks? What's the best way to invest in stocks? And I'm just using stocks as an example. You could use forex. I would not recommend forex. It moves too fast. Like I lost $2,000 in 2 hours. I would not invest in forex for anybody. You could do cryptocurrency. Yeah, that's cool, but with stocks, it's more it's less risky, it's more it's less volatile, and then also it's easier to it moves slower. So Bitcoin, I would say, moves just as fast as forex, but nowhere near. Like it's the second fastest thing I've seen that moves. And then also with forex and crypto, like you could trade 7 days a week, 24/7. So that's another kind. Some people see it as a pro, but not really, because like you got to monitor it. Like you know what I mean. And like with stocks, you don't have to monitor it like that. And then what's below? So stocks my third and my main investment I would go with. So, but it's in the middle between forex and big. Well, not in the middle. It's moves slower than forex and Bitcoin or
Mm-hmm.
cryptocurrencies. But then what moves slower than stocks is mutual funds or like ETFs or yeah. So though I don't even really know what ETFs are too much, but I know what mutual funds are. They move too slow. So when I say that moves too slow, I mean like in like 30 years you'll be up, let's say 23%, which is basically like let's say you're up 9% most of the time. But that, like a year, 9%,
Right.
7%, like that sucks to me. Like you can get a bigger return on stocks. Like for example, with Palantir, I'm pretty much was up 350% on Palantir alone, one stock. But like I'm sure you can get a huge return on forex and stuff like that, but like it ain't worth it because like you can lose so much more than what you
Right.
get in return. And even if you gain something, it's so easy to lose it. But like I was trying to say, like with financial literacy and stuff like that, like that's what the politicians and people who are crooked put their money in. Like they put their money in some type of market, real estate, stock
Right.
market. There's different markets to put your money in to get your money working for you. So if the people in power do it,
Mm-hmm.
the people who are rich and are getting more and more of the money, if they put their money in certain places, don't you think you should put your money in those places too? But you got to put it in there before they even put their money in there, because that's where the real money is. Finding and discovering stocks, for example, before they do. So finding the next
Right.
Apple, finding the next Amazon. Like if you put your money in those things before Wall Street, before hedge funds, before big institutions, so big money puts discovers those companies. Then that's how you become a millionaire. That's how you become a billionaire. Like that's how you become owning companies like Tesla, like Elon Musk. Because in order to own a company, I think all you have to do is just buy the most shares of a company. So have the most ownership of a company. So eventually, one day, it'll be nice. But like, I would love to own Palantir. I would love to own SoFi or like AMD. Like, I want to be the CEO of it. You know what I mean? That would be great. And all it takes is like owning the most shares, having the most ownership of a company. Like that's one layer to it. So like, yeah, there'd be so much power in that. But like, that's the game, right? Where do you put your money? What do you do with your money? And if you don't do anything with it, that's the problem. Because just having it in a savings account, like it doesn't go up. Like you earn, I think in a savings account in a bank account, you only earn 0.00000625 or something like that. Like it's something like percent a month. Like some like that's
Right.
not even a penny. Like that's awful. Like, but I should show you guys charts and stuff. I should have came prepared, but um, like I think every day if you have your money in the stock market, I'm pretty sure it goes up on average like let's say 4%. Like, but every day it goes up. Even when it goes down, like you hear about the markets tanking. Like right now, the past 2 weeks, like because of Trump's tariffs, like the market has been down, right? But like if you look, you gotta zoom out sometimes. That's an investing saying. Zoom out to see what's really going on. And like if you look over time in the stock market, on average, it's like 8 years. It's 8 years that stocks are up, and then about 2 years or even 1 year that stocks are down. So like that there's a bear market. So like over since 1920 or something like that, 1950 since stock market existed, like um the market has been up more than it's been down. So it's a great place to put your money because there's 365 days in a year. So like it's guaranteed that your money's gonna go up. Even when it goes down, like over time, it's always gonna go up. So this is where you need to be putting your money. You're not gonna make 0.000625% on your savings account in your bank account. No, like in stocks, you're gonna make at least 4% back on at least 4% back return on your money every day. Like, yeah, it's just a lot with investing, man. Like, long story short, like 2 days ago, I didn't tell you, Zeke. 2 days ago, I was up $11,000, like the most I've ever been up in my stock portfolio. $11,000, because yeah, the market tanked the past 2 weeks, but once the market stopped tanking and it start going up, if you invest just when the market tanks, like for example, then like the return back that you're gonna get is crazy because it will never go back that low again, typically. And if it does, you just buy some more ownership of whatever you're invested in, and then if you buy even more ownership of those companies, then you'll have even more money when it goes up again to its rightful place where it was originally. But then if you're investing in good companies, it's gonna crop on that. Like it's gonna go way higher than that. So like that's how you become richer. Like it's a day-to-day thing. It's a month by month thing, year by year thing. 1 penny at a time, $1 at a time. 1 day at a time. I keep on going. 10 years at a time. Like that's how you become wealthy. You keep on building and building and building. So what are you doing with your money? Like, and I think about it like this. I got so much to say, Zeke. Like, how much money has passed you, and how much money have you had all your life? Like, if you were to say a total, how much money you have ever had in your life, like a total, how much money is it? It's a lot. It's a lot. So what are you doing with the money that you keep on getting? Like, how do you keep on losing it? So that's the question. How do you sustain what you make? How do you keep what you get? That's the challenge. And the greatest way to do that is through investing. And so I would market stocks. Like that's the greatest way to invest. But I'm gonna show you guys some pictures and stuff. But go ahead, Zeke. I know you got other stuff to say. To add.
Now, it's all good, brother. Now, I want you all to listen to what was just said. Put in stock marketing, investing, a lot of things. This is a way some of your parents probably have told you, hey, this is how you generate. Our culture and creed has made their own fundamental practices. That is the way that a lot of our people have done things. Now, with this, what am I saying? As you grow up in life, please stop being institutionalized by the mind. Stop allowing society to dictate the way you raise yourself and treat yourself and raise your children. Today's value is that we must be willing to educate and illuminate and change. This is why I use the things that Eddie Griffin had said, to think it's not illegal yet. Because before time, people like the Cheeto Man being in office, he gonna try to make everything illegal, which he can't. All he doing is trying to buy himself time before they put him in jail. And yeah, I said it, they haven't even dropped none of his charges. But you can't dismantle things that's already built. People are fighting against it. So people that are listening, that's out there, please take this word of advice and put it to work. Your life, your family, your culture and creed is important. My Black brothers and sisters out there, teach your children about their culture. Teach them who they are, because these schools won't, but they are sure enough show them those Mr. Show type acts. And I don't even know if you know what Mr. Shows are. Do you? You know what Mr. Shows are?
You said mystery?
Mr. Shows.
Mr. Show? Nah, go ahead. Say what it is.
So the Mr. Show is this. White people would paint their face black, make their lips red, and try to portray black culture. They'll make the world think that you're no good for stealing, thriving, dancing, eating watermelon, which is where the ice cream truck song came from, and acting chauvinistic, acting uneducated, do not know what you're doing in life, this is where society will keep you if you allow it. But if you educate yourself, know your culture and creed, know where you come from, and I mean that. If you have not did your African DNA ancestry test, please go get it done. Please learn where your heritage come from, because that's the first thing that was taken from you. Learn the language. Learn where you stand. Because when you learn yourself, when you learn what's going on in society, and you educate yourself, and you read for yourself, and you better yourself, there's nothing that they can pull over you. So, people, this is EGC Legacy Live with Ezekiel G. Collins Sr. and my man, Sean Christopher Jenkins. I need you to remember, think it's not illegal yet. Educate yourself, illuminate your mind, and watch how things change. This is the end of the show. See you soon.